Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade, and yep, that's right. I'm coming at you with another fresh out of the movie theater review, this time for Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung and starring Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell. And I admit it, when I first reserved my ticket for this movie, I was just thinking, I'm jonesing for some disaster movie carnage. Let me just go see a dumb little movie where, whether a natural disaster or a more fictionalized disaster just like wrecks buildings and just tears everything up in its path. That was the mindset I had when I was booking my ticket for this film. And then, just last night, kind of like on the spur of the moment, I decided, let's give the original Twister from 1996 a watch. And I admit, let me say this now, I did not fully finish it. I watched it really late at night and I fell asleep on it, not because it was bad, but because I was just tired. Because the original one blew me away. I was thinking that was just another like dumb little disaster movie too, but it was actually quite smarter than that because the characters in that movie are storm chasers and meteorologists. So they use scientific terms. They break down tornadoes in a very detailed and professional manner, despite them kind of being kind of like fun-loving, kind of like free-spirited alternative lifestyle type of folks. They know what they're talking about. So that film doesn't talk down to you, and it's not simply like there's this giant tornado that's coming and destroying everything in its path. There are multiple tornadoes in that film, each of them analyzed and each of them pursued in the name of scientific research. And the part that I fell asleep on, I just had to turn it off, and because I was like, you know what, just let me go to bed. I'm not gonna try and kill myself staying up to watch the entirety of this movie. I can always watch it later. But the part that I fell asleep on, that was the part that felt most like that usual disaster. This big thing, this big storm is coming to take everything out, and that was near. I got to like kind of like the last 20 or so minutes of the film, so that like giant destructive storm, presumably that's going to destroy everything, doesn't happen to the last few minutes. So I was really digging on the movie. And another thing to touch on too is that obviously there's some suspense, tension, and even a bit of horror depending on how you look at it, because these are storm chasers. They're in a lot of danger. There's peril. There are tense moments of them worrying about whether they're gonna die or not. So obviously that's all there. But surprisingly, in that original Twister movie, the characters are very they're almost like childlike, and they almost have like a childlike innocence about them. They're very wholesome and fun-loving and free-spirited, man. And so those tones, those should be conflicting tones, but they work for that original movie. I was enjoying what I saw, and I'm sure I'll enjoy the end of it when I get back to it. Now, moving on to Twisters, now that I had seen it, going into this, I was just thinking, give me more of what that original movie was giving me. Just do that for me, please. And I'm happy to say that it does. And I think it does. It also does a little bit more because it expands upon what I was liking about that original movie. The characters here, at least in my opinion, at least thus so far, I don't know how the original is going to end, are a bit more complex. They're not one-dimensional. I was worried about that when I saw the trailer. Joseph Kosinski did the story for this movie. He also directed Top Gun Maverick and Tron Legacy. Glenn Powell, of course, starred alongside Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick. And I was thinking to myself, so he's basically replaced kind of 80s to early 2000s Tom Cruise, where every character he plays is kind of a smirking, cocky, know-it-all asshole who thinks he's invincible, thinks he knows everything, kind of reckless too. And the trailer for Twisters definitely made him seem like he was just going to be that one-dimensional cocky asshole again, but no, and that's all I said. I don't want to give away anything about these characters, but the development and effort put into them really took me by surprise, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know why it took me by surprise, because like I said, I was digging the characters from the original too. They were more fleshed out than I thought they would be. But I guess I was just pleasantly surprised that these characters were even more fleshed out, even more developed, and definitely more complex than I was expecting. They even do a little twist where I was like, okay, didn't see that coming. So yeah, really solid characters. But how is the main event? How's the thing that we all pay? We're only paying the price of admission to see. How is that? How are the tornadoes and the storms in this movie? I'm here to tell you, excellent. Every storm and tornado sequence in this movie like had my hair standing up on it. And now it's time to talk about seeing this in Dolby Cinema. Guys, see this on the biggest and loudest screen that you can find in whatever area you're in. I promise you it'll be one of the greatest theater experiences in your entire life, because for me, watching this in Dolby Cinema, that was the perfect choice for this movie, because like I said, every sequence with a tornado just like made my hair stand up on it. And one in particular that happens, I was like, whoa, holy shit, is everybody gonna be okay? Is everybody good? So I made the right choice by going to see Twisters in Dolby Cinema. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I'm wrapping it up, giving my rating. I'm gonna go high on this one, and I'm gonna give Twisters a 9 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Initially, I thought this whole franchise in general was just, kind of like turn your brain off disaster movies, which with like, one-dimensional cliche characters, sacrificed for, one-dimensional cliche characters, like, sacrificing character development, making everybody one-dimensional just so we can see like all the storms and the destruction, because that's what everybody cares about, more than anything, right? But no, both films care about the character development. Like, you don't feel like you're stuck with these annoying a-holes. You feel like you're stuck with human beings who you can kind of relate to in a way, despite them being meteorologists. I don't know any meteorologists or storm chasers in my life. So I really respect that. I really appreciate that. Twisters is I'm happy to say it's a solid revival of, I guess what I assume is another beloved film from the 90s. They didn't butcher it. There's no nostalgia bait. There's no like pale imitation of what came before. This is another solid installment in the Twisters franchise. I can't wait to go back home and finish the original movie, and once again it gets a 9 out of 10. And what did you guys think? For those of you who have already seen Twisters, do you like it more than the original? Do you like the original better? Are they both on equal footing? What do you think? For me, so far, they're kind of like neck and neck. I gotta see how the original ends, but they're kind of neck and neck. I really enjoyed both. They surpassed my expectations, and I might give the original one a 9 out of 10, but this one, Twisters, definitely gets a 9 out of 10. One of the best theater experiences I've had in a while, and I hope this movie doesn't get decimated by Deadpool and Wolverine in the box office, so we can get more natural disaster films. So yeah, guys, this has been another edition of Wade Watches. As you can tell, I really dug this movie. What did you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like what you saw here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Peace.